Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Are we going to see more issues at the VA with a prolonged government shutdown? Well, the answer might be surprising. There are some VA employees that think that we may be running into some additional issues. So with that, hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I truly appreciate it. Every thumbs up, every minute watched really does help the channel, and I appreciate your support very much. All right, so jumping into this here. The headline, and this is coming out of Utah, let's see, Salt Lake City on KSL.com. And the headline, if I could find it, is VA employees fear shutdown's impact on veterans' medical care. This is VA employees. This just came out the 18th of October 2025. All right, so Salt Lake City is where it's coming out of. As the federal government shutdown drags on, employees at the Department of Veterans Affairs say they're not just worried about their own paychecks. They're deeply concerned about how the disruption could affect the veterans they serve. Now, I'm interested because as we go through this, we might be able to get a little peek behind the curtain on what may be to come. So, many VA workers are either furloughed or working without pay, and those still on the job are stretched thin. One employee reported seeing their daily caseload shoot up from around 20 to 25 to around 40 per day. Dave Hummer, a furloughed VA worker and father of three, said he fears he may not allowed. It's written wrong. So I'm guessing he may not be, is what I'm thinking it should say, may not be allowed to return to work after the shutdown. They're talking about laying people off and that are on furlough. Okay, so they're talking about laying off the people that are on furlough, and I'm on furlough, Hummer said. And this is a very important mission. I help some of the most vulnerable veterans that are rated incompetent. They can't manage their own money. Rob Johnson, president of AFGE 2199, the region's union for Veterans Affairs employees, said the shutdown is just the latest turn in what has been a very difficult year. Johnson added that the strain on staff could have serious consequences for veterans. It's going to be detrimental to our vets, he said. How can you possibly say that you're going to go ahead and you're all for the veterans and then turn around and do this? Teresa Salazar, a union vice president, described the current work environment as unstable and emotionally taxing. This is my passion. I love working for the VA, Salazar said, but right now it is scary, unstable environment where everybody is basically living on fear and intimidation and pins and needles day to day, I'm sure. She worries that delays in care will disproportionately affect disabled veterans. The people that are suffering in the long run are our disabled veterans who deserve it more than anybody in this world, Salazar said. Union representatives also pointed out that not all veterans qualify for VA health care, which is very true. I don't know what the number is. It's probably like 35 or 40% of veterans have VA health care, and then all the rest do not. So 55, 60%, 65% do not have VA health care. Those who don't may face steep increases in insurance premiums if Congress fails to reach a deal. Also, we have an aging population, right? Our veteran population. If you need help with your Medicare, it's open enrollment time. The shutdown has some weird, quirky things going on, but you could reach out to Chapter. I have their link in the description. It's basically, I got 3 different kind of links in there that are the primary ones. One is for evidence-based VA claims. There's a little blurb on that, help you with your claim. Next one should be AME, American Medical Experts, board certified doctors that can help you with medical evidence if you need it. And then Chapter, which is for Medicare, open enrollment, or if you're turning 65, you should absolutely reach out to them. It's free, doesn't cost you a nickel. And they will help you with your Medicare needs. So One of the things I want to talk about here, that this is really important, okay? There's more veterans who are enrolled in VA healthcare than have VA disability compensation, okay? So everybody who has VA disability compensation for the most part are all enrolled in VA for the most part, but everybody that's enrolled in VA, they all do not have VA disability compensation. And so with that, there's kind of two different messages here. One, you could qualify for VA healthcare. Check and see if you do. Okay, it's VA Form 10-10. That's the form. You could read the criteria, and in fact, I'll pull it up right now. All right, so I just pulled up the form. The way I record, I don't have the ability unless I use a different camera, whatever. So I'm not pulling it up in front of you, but I'm just going to tell you that it's a simple form. It's a simple form. It's basically 3 pages long. There's additional pages of instruction and qualification type stuff that you could read through. Now, it's the form 10-10EZ is the veteran form for VA healthcare. Now, for the most part, I'm gonna kind of frame this a couple different ways. Most veterans get access to VA healthcare through service connection. So I have a service-connected condition or conditions, and that makes me eligible for VA healthcare. That's probably the majority of veterans get it that way. Then you could also be low or no income. So you're kind of below the poverty line. It's means tested, and you can get into VA healthcare that way. Then there's a whole list of a bunch of different bullet points on different kind of qualifiers to get you into VA healthcare. And that's what I'm going to read through here. So I'm going to read on this section 6, which is financial disclosure. It says, only non-service connected and 0% non-compensable service connection veterans must complete this section to determine eligibility for VA healthcare enrollment and or care or services. So, let's see. It says financial disclosure requirements. So this is the means testing, okay? So what we've read so far is if you have a service connection that's greater than 10%, you're good to go. If you have a 0% non-compensable or you're non-service connected and or non-compensable, then you got to fill out the financial disclosure to figure out the means testing aspect. Okay. Now, financial disclosure requirements do not apply for these individuals. A former prisoner of war. Okay. So that you can just go get health care. Okay. So that's how this works. Those in receipt of a Purple Heart or a recently discharged combat veteran, or those who served in a toxic exposure risk activity, TERA, or those discharged for a disability incurred or aggravated in the line of duty, or those receiving VA service-connected disability compensation, or those receiving VA pension. Now, why pension? Because pensions already means tested. So if you're eligible for pension, it means you aren't at a sufficient income level, okay? And so because of that, they lump you into you don't need to jump through that same hoop twice. So those receiving VA pension can get medical. Those in receipt of Medicaid benefits, or those who served in an Agent Orange exposure location, or those who served in Southwest Asia during the Gulf War between August 2nd, 1990 and November 11th, 1998, or those who served at least 30 days at Camp Lejeune between August 1st, 1953 and December 31st, 1987. Okay, it says here, and this is where we'll end it, you are not required to disclose your financial information However, VA is not currently enrolling new applicants who decline to provide their financial information unless they have other qualifying eligibility factors, which I read. If a financial assessment is not used to determine your priority for enrollment, you may choose not to disclose your information. However, if a financial assessment is used to determine your eligibility for cost-free medication, travel assistance, or waiver of a travel deductible, and you do not disclose your financial information, you will not be eligible for these benefits. Let me put it this way too. If you think, okay, I'm a veteran, I've hit hard times, I'm low, no income, I don't have health care, I need health care, fine, I'm going to go look at the VA and I'm going to put in for VA health care under the means testing. If you qualify for means tested VA healthcare, you're probably going to qualify for VA pension. So you should also be looking at VA pension. VA pension is a safety net program for low and no income veterans that served at least one day during a wartime period. There's some other qualifiers in there, but you need to at least have one day during a wartime. You don't need to have been in combat, just served during that combat period or that the war period. The way that it works, and this is just the very Barney style nutshell, is let's say that you qualify for your specific situation for, I don't know, $25,000 in VA pension per year, $25,000 per year, but you're getting $15,000 per year from Social Security. 25, 15. You're getting 15, you're eligible for 25 in pension. What they're going to do, loosely, there's some other calculations that can happen. You cannot count some certain things, but for the most part, you're going to take your 25,000 eligibility minus what you're getting, the 15, it leaves you with 10. So now you're going to get 15 from your Social Security per year, and you're going to get 10,000 per year from VA pension. Now that's broke down onto a monthly basis and you'll get monthly payments. But that's the very basic level of understanding of how VA pension works. With that, thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.